Hi everybody. Tonight we're going to do a quick little process on the solar video that I captured today and also a lunar video that I captured today. So we're just going to run through that. So I captured the video using FireCapture on my imaging PC, and now I'm going to process it using AutoStackert, PixInsight, and then little finishing touches in Lightroom. So I'll go through each one individually. I'll do the solar first. So I gotta go find it on my file system. Oops, that's not it. Here we go. All right. So AutoStacker will open up the video. Um, as you can see, it looks kind of grainy and kind of dark, but that's why we're gonna stack it. We're gonna clean it up. So we'll stack it in AutoStacker and then we'll sharpen it afterwards. Um, so just some settings. Uh, I don't know. It sort of depends. I've tried both of these things. They work kind of differently. I feel like planet works okay for the sun, but you need to do surface for lunar, particularly for partial moons. Um, so I have these settings here. So first we're going to analyze it. So it will go through the frames of the video and then assess them for quality. Let's see what we got. All right, so there's our quality graph. This is pretty steady, so we can keep a fairly high percentage of them. I think if the graph tends to like kind of dip way down, and you have some that are up here and some that are down here, you may want to reduce the percentage. In this case, I'm just going to keep the best 75%. I don't know, it's somewhat arbitrary, but um, that's the way we'll go. That's the way we'll go for this. Over on this side, we need to set our alignment points. So I've tried a bunch of different things. I've found that it usually works best for solar if you have about 20. So depending on your image size and everything, you can change the size. You know, while it's processing, it's grayed out, but you can adjust the size, and then it will show you the count of alignment points up here. Um, so in this case, it's going through and finding all the spots. Dismiss that. Um, okay, so there we go. So it's got our alignment points. Those look fine. We have our image size is going to be 1300 pixels by 1300 pixels, but I'm going to drizzle it, so it's going to be significantly larger than that. So now we'll go ahead and if you're just curious, if you want to kind of step through it up here, I'll hide the alignment points, but you can use this to just sort of run through the frames of the video. And like I did notice while it was recording, there's some stuff flying through. Um, like that one may have been a satellite. I don't know. A lot of this it's moving really fast, but anyways, nothing cool like my solar transit. So we'll just stack it up. Okay, so stacking is done. We're gonna hop over from AutoStackert over to PixInsight to use some tools over there. So open that up, go find it. It's in staging. In a folder here. Okay, so there's our stacked image. Um, you know, it looks better, but it's still pretty blurry. But we can fix that up. So I'm going to use um, a tool set of tools called Toolbox, released by Bill Blanchard. And this is there's lots of other ways to do this. You can do it with IMPPG is one tool. believe Registax is another one. I haven't used that one, but this one is, I find it nice because I already have PixInsight for all my deep space or deep sky objects, and it's right here, so you can do some really cool stuff with it. All right, so we'll open the little preview box. So the first things you can do is you set your black point and your white point, and you can see that it's recomputing. Oops. And you can do like the before and after, so that just kind of brightens everything up. Mostly though, we're going to come in for the contrast enhancement. So we'll hit that, and usually I use local contrast. And you can see that it's already starting to sharpen up the sunspot, this giant sunspot over here. So you can zoom in and use a preview. We haven't even done the sharpening yet, so this is just contrast for now. I feel like I usually go somewhere in the like 8-ish, 7 or 8-ish range. I'll probably just start with that and then jump around on it. Okay, so that's starting to look better. We're making the sunspots pop out a little bit. You can mess with or you can deal with the color. I think that's mostly for mono imaging. But then I'll come down here and do sharpening. And this is just magic. I'll usually go to sharpen kernel 2. This thing has tooltips on each of these, so and Bill Blanchen's video introducing this process really goes through a lot of this and what it does. So I think probably somewhere in the like 30 range. Let's see how that does. Okay. Let's see. 4 after. All right. Let's just go do something like that so we can get a better look at it. 4 after. It's not bad. You might be able to go a little bit more. So things to look out for is, I got a little bit of it, but you want to avoid it because I think it looks weird. You can get this ring around the outside, and I think you can see it more if you do like a regular histogram equalization. Yeah, so you get this like lighter ring around the outside, and then the center of the disc is a different color. So that's just something to look out for. Back off, I would say generally like kind of back off your whatever you're doing with your settings to avoid that. Because I don't know, I think it looks weird. So there's a little more contrast. Let's see what happens if we bump the sharpening up a little bit. This is easy to get. You can get like weird artifacts if you sharpen too much, although that looks okay. Yeah, it's just kind of flipping back and forth. Yeah, I don't know. We could push it a little further, see how it goes, but I don't know. That's still looking okay. Usually don't really mess with the denoise too much in here. Could go maybe a little bit, pull the white point down a little bit to brighten it up. I don't know. I'll also mess with this stuff in Lightroom as well. All right, so let's just look at the whole thing. Let's see how we did. I don't know, it looks pretty good. All right, so let's save that change. So we'll actually apply that. So that would be if we did it again. All right, so now that we've got that looks pretty good. Let's expand that so we can, sometimes I'll do curves in here. Use the curves transformation and just play with some of the contrast and some of the, I don't usually try to go too crazy on the contrast, a little bit, maybe just a little bump. I don't know about that. Mess with the lightness. Kind of depends what you like. Like if you like it more of like an orange, you can sort of mess with the colors as you want. You could also, you know, crank the saturation to get kind of the desired color. I don't know. Honestly, I think probably just a tiny bit of contrast here. I'll just do it in Lightroom. because Lightroom is really easy for that sort of change. Um, and we'll also rotate it. I like to use Space Weather Live, the spaceweatherlive.com website, to just see what the orientation generally is, because I'm using an equatorial mount, so it uh, moves across the sky, and stays in the same position. I also have my camera rotated at 90 degrees orientation, just for that's what I tend to shoot with. So yeah, we're gonna have to rotate this. Looks like clockwise about 90 degrees, but for now I'll just save it out to um, I'll save it out so I can send it over to Lightroom. Yeah, we'll do a TIFF. A TIFF is fine. TIFF is going to be big. Should have all the data in it, or most of the data. All right, so now we'll come over here. So this is Lightroom CC. As you can see, I have a number of solar images. This one is, of course, my favorite, with the transit of ISS. Let's see. Go open this file. You can also just, if you have it open in your file structure, you can just open it, drag it into here, which is fine too. So we're going to put it in the Sun album. All right, so there we are. Okay. I have some settings that I like for some of these other ones. So sometimes I'll just, if you select something and you do copy, it will copy the edit settings and you can just paste them onto it. That didn't really do what I like here. Let's see. Wonder if that's weird. All right. I don't even know what I pasted here. All right. Well, anyways, so I guess I'll just do it from scratch. I will usually do some amount of dehaze. See that, like, kind of gives you more. It's more of like a local contrast sort of thing. Um, Again, I usually try to. I guess I go a little harder in here than I do with other sort of regular edits, but dropping the shadows gives you this. You can drop the back of the black background, and it will also drop the color of the sunspots. So that's kind of nice. Let's see. We can pull the highlights down to kind of change it. I don't know. And then we can do the change the white balance to make it all sorts of funky colors if we want. I'll just do kind of saturation. I don't know. That's okay. I don't know. This is totally a personal preference thing, as far as how you make it look. I believe it's basically like that. Oh, we don't need all this extra space around the outside, so center it like that, basically. Yeah. So there we go. That's pretty good. I think I don't know, it's tough to tell. The focus wasn't perfect. I don't really have the focusing down for solar. It seems kind of best effort. You're supposed to like focus on the edge, like basically get the edge to be as narrow as possible, and the sunspot details to be kind of fine. But I find that with the focuser, it doesn't tend to change too much. So I mostly leave it from what I do for deep sky. That's it. That's it for the solar. I will. Yeah. Next up, we'll do the lunar image.